Perfect.
All right. George said he was going to come because I was like, wow, you really want to learn about home warranties, huh, George? So maybe he'll show.
Yeah. That'll be awesome.
That would be fun.
Yeah, Tom, that's almost like having George.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm 3 months older than him, so that's okay.
That's so fun. You guys have any fun plans with the weather heating up? Are you ready for it yet?
No, I think it's too hot already.
Going to be
I'm
in the,
working the Cubs games
oh, well, that's fun.
outside at the gates, and so it's a little warm out there, especially for tomorrow and the next day.
In the 90s this weekend.
Yes.
But then it's supposed to rain maybe next Tuesday and cool it off a little bit. So we're just kind of, it's like a little teaser and then it comes back and it's a little teaser. So I'm okay with that.
It seems to keep bouncing. Like, just kidding, we're gonna cool off. Oh, just kidding, we're gonna be 100.
I know, I forget how this back and forth, but I'm okay. I won't complain about when it's cooler because I might be crying in the summer again.
I do keep looking at the pool though, going, man, that looks so nice, but I know the water's way too cold. It feels hot and I want to get in, but if I get in, it'll be freezing.
Oh man. Let's see. Let's give it a minute and then we'll just start and then we can just kind of trickle in with whoever comes in.
Perfect.
Lisa, is the office meeting going to be just Zoom again?
Yes. Yep. It's actually Teams, not Zoom, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's online.
You know what I mean.
I knew what you meant.
All these newfangled things, you know, for us old guys, we have problems.
I didn't want to confuse Colin or John, and then they are looking for a Zoom link instead of a Teams link.
Appreciate that.
All right. Well, in lieu of not trying to take up too much of everyone's time, so we're going to keep it within the hour, if not less. So thank you guys for coming. My name is Sharp. For those that don't know me, I'm with Choice Home Warranty. I've been working with Bliss for a while now, and it's been a while since I've got to see you guys. And so I'm happy to be here and thank you for having me again. So just to kind of open up a little bit, I'm on the Choice Home Warranty Real Estate Division. Choice does have the consumer division. So Choice started out as the consumer business about 15, maybe 14, 15 years ago. And we launched the real estate division 5 years ago. And that's when I came on board. And so the reason I always mention this, and I will try to mention this probably anytime you see me, is because the Choice Home Warranty real estate policy is intended for the real estate transaction. So it's important for you guys as real estate professionals to know that you're guiding your clients to the correct information so that they're not lost on the consumer policy, where that's a lesser product, less coverage, more limitations, and they have less caps. Their caps are lower, and they can't pay through escrow on that side, and they also have a 30-day standard waiting period no matter what. So it's very important. And then on my side, the brochure, which you want to send me a quick email. I should probably put my information down below just so you had it handy. 1 second, please. That's my name. I always think if I hit return, it goes to the next line, but it sends it. And so I look like a goofus. So sorry. This is my email. It's pretty easy. And then my phone number, my cell is that number. But if you if you need to just go to the Realtor portal, this is the www.chwpro. Oh gosh, my dogs just knocked my light over. That's always fun, right? Oh, perfect. So that's really bright. Perfect. Try again. Okay. .com, and then that's the Realtor portal link. And then if you need to call our inside sales team, which is the inside real estate customer service line, this is the number 275-980. Anyway, so on the real estate policy side, you're going to have a more robust coverage. It's going to cover more of the major systems and appliances. My caps are definitely higher. So on the consumer side, just kind of give you an idea, they cap out at $1,500 per contract item, where on my side, it's $5,000 per contract item. So it's a pretty significant difference. So again, my policy is intended for the real estate transaction. And so again, it will start at close of escrow for those policies that are ordered through there. But most importantly, being the real estate division rep, I can only see the real estate policy. So if you call me about a consumer policy, I cannot pull it up in my database, and my claims manager cannot work on any of those policies or claims. So that's actually super important to know too. So the whole benefit of having a good partner is somebody that can be your advocate, somebody that can go to bat for you, somebody to answer questions for you and that kind of stuff. So it's really important to know that. And again, like I said, this is for the real estate transaction. Hi, Terry. Thanks for joining.
Hi, sorry I'm late to the game.
No worries. So it is also available for you guys to refer as a real estate professional. So say you have past clients that may have had a previous home warranty or not a home warranty at all, and they're looking and they're researching. You need to know that being in the real estate professional, you get that option of like saying, hey, I have access to the Choice Home Warranty real estate policy. You may be able to find it online, the choice online, but I have access to the real estate policy that's going to give you more coverage. And you can at least provide them that information. So there's a benefit and value add there for you there. So know that it's for your referral. It's for the real estate professional, right? And if that's the case, if they are not buying a home warranty, if they're not buying a house and they're getting a home warranty, there is a 30-day wait for them to file claims then. But if they are transferring from a previous home warranty and they don't lapse in coverage, then they can pay for it before it expires, show proof that they have previous home warranty coverage, and then there's not a waiting period for that. So just kind of keep that in mind. So anyhow, I wanted to kind of make sure that, first off and foremost, that there is a difference. I know, we all know, Lisa and Mara, like home warranty is not sexy. It is never black and white, ever. And so it's always gray. And so as the Choice rep, I've been working with Choice since the beginning of the real estate launch. I've been in home warranty for over 6 years now, which makes me feel really old because I think I met you guys when I first started. And I'm always like, I've only been in it for a couple of years. Oh no, it's been like, keeps going. So I feel like, well, you guys, I'm sure can attest to this. Home warranty does not have the best reputation, but I feel like most of the time it's just because there's a lack of education, knowledge, know-how, and understanding of how it works. And so I pride myself as being a valued partner because I'm not just here to sell home warranty. I'm here to be an educator and person of contact for you as a resource so that I bring you guys the value of knowing how to speak home warranty, being able to be comfortable in answering the questions that come up, because you guys get all these questions. And I know inadvertently people will just say what they think that they know. They don't answer it correctly. So therefore they're over promising something that, in our home warranty space, it's not deliverable. So I want to make sure that everyone kind of has the same information. You have access to me, and you hopefully will walk away saying, I learned something here and I know how I'm more comfortable in speaking about it. And if not, I could call Shark. So that's kind of all I ask for here. So if you have questions, I'm very informal. I love questions because I think that's how you learn, or scenarios or situations. So feel free to reach out. I'd like to kind of get a gauge of like everyone's experience on home warranty or just knowledge of it, because some people may be brand new, but some people also can be very seasoned, but I've seen both ends not answer things correctly, even when they've been doing it for a very long time. And I'm like, you've been saying that for a long time, huh? I'm like, okay, cool. So where are you guys at in the home warranty? Are you comfortable talking about it? You don't ever feel uncomfortable? Like, what do you know so far?
Oh, whoever's trying to talk, we can't understand you. Super digital.
It might be Mara.
Hey girl, it's Mara. So I've been in the business. I always ask you guys.
Say that one more
Mara,
time.
I think you have a terrible
Sorry.
connection, Mara.
I know. Can you hear me? I drove right by my house. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I don't care how long you've been in the business. Home warranties are freaking confusing. So I think the biggest thing is just trying to figure out what a home warranty will cover and when will they cover. You know, and it's always changing. So I guess maybe that's something you can start with, like our roofs. Roofs are always an issue. HVAC, hot water heaters, pools, you know, and is it you know, do you guys need to look at the inspection reports and, you know, what if it's a problem, a previous issue, or, you know, maybe just talk about that kind of stuff maybe.
So Mara wants me to talk about everything, which is totally fine. So I'm here for you.
If I can tag on to that too, I think
Yes,
it's tough sometimes because of course and maybe it's a valid stigma. I don't know. Sometimes there's a stigma about, like, oh, home warranties, they never cover anything. I know I've had all these experiences with home warranties, and I've had that same experience. So it's difficult to talk from a personal experience, understanding, yes, they're super valuable. And yes, they're absolutely necessary. And yes, a lot of people find value in them. I think it's important for us to know how to speak to that so that we can help to prove that. So, because I literally have one right now that's shopping different home warranty companies, and yes, you're one of them. So, being able to help speak toward that, and it's a cash buyer too. So he's initially, nah, I don't want that, I don't need it. And then during the inspection, I'm going, this is why you do, this is why you do, this is why you do, because any of this stuff could go at any time and they're all expensive. So, I mean, just in general, we're in Arizona.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Perfect.
Okay,
No,
thank you.
Yeah, of course. So I'm just gonna spew everything, and then it'll all tie in at some point, I promise. And if there are any questions, just please just kind of just like speak up, no worries. So what home warranty covers? So I am very not smoke and mirrors. I'm very upfront. I love butterflies, puppy tails, and rainbows, but my life is not butterflies, puppy tails, and rainbows all the time. So I just have to, I think what I'm trying to do is make like the mind shift and relearning how to speak it and what really is coverable. But again, it's always going to be gray and it's always going to be circumstantial. So remember that. So if you think of the acronym PEACH, P-E-A-C-H, I mean, electrical, appliances, cooling, heating. So if you're like, I don't know what home warranties cover, that is a very general umbrella, but at least it will jog your mind. Remember peach. I like peaches. Peaches are delicious. I like peach pie. Peaches, P-E-A-C-H, plumbing, electrical, appliances, cooling, and heating. So the appliances part is going to be dependent on which policy you get too. So you want to remember our top plan is the ultimate. That includes a washer and dryer and refrigerator. Not all the policies include that. Some of the other policies have less than. So you want to make sure you know that. But if you're just kind of thinking in general what home warranty covers, that is up. So going to, so I wish I should have sent you the brochure. Maybe I can send, hold on, if you can hang on, I'll send the link over and I'll put it in there while I'm doing this. So sorry. Send. I'll have to email it to myself from my phone, so then I could just copy and paste it. So how home warranties work? Okay, so I'm upfront. Home warranties do not cover everything, and that's true. In fact, there are limitations and exclusions on all home warranties out there. So I can sell and tell you all the perfect scenarios that when it's worked perfectly, everything's same day, next day, totally done it quickly, everything's fully covered, full approvals. Has it happened? Yes, absolutely. Has it happened where it kind of sucks? It's been a few days, a few weeks, a couple more weeks, and the parts are missing, the parts haven't come in because they aren't making the parts right now, or if there's a denial based on something, or there may be a time where we would actually approve something, but then there are also maybe out-of-pocket expenses that are non-covered charges to the homeowner in order to go forward to fix, repair, or replace something. Yes, so it's never going to be a perfect scenario. So you got to understand the whole premise of a home warranty is not to cover everything. So if you walk in thinking that, you've already kind of like overpromised. And so you never want to say that. So there are limitations and exclusions. Home warranties are there to offset out-of-pocket expenses for things that fail in your home due to normal wear and tear failures, have been in proper working condition at time of close, and have been routinely maintained and serviced. So if you think about just those things, that sentence that I said it's there to offset costs. Can it cover everything? Yes. Can it cover nothing? Yes. Can it be a shared cost? Yes. The whole point is it can't offset costs. You can't go into thinking it's going to cover everything, because if that's the case, like my world is rocked all the time. So it's there to offset costs. So it's just somewhat like an insurance. If it may be able to offset something for a failure, there's going to be some limitations. And based on what I just said, it's got to be a normal wear and tear failure. So it can't be something where your dog pees on the AC system outside, rusts out the fan stops working, therefore the system stops working slowly, and that's happening. Or a rat's chewing on I don't know, they don't chew on pipes, they chew on wires, and it frays it out and it blows something up. You know, like your kid can't be using the oven as a step stool and breaking the hinge because, you know, that's not proper working condition or proper wear and tear, right? So there's that. One important factor, and kind of Mara brought that up, home inspection. So things have to be in proper working condition before you can use it, right? The concept is if you have a car accident on Monday, you can't you can't get your insurance on Tuesday and expect your car insurance to cover your accident on Monday, right? Same kind of idea comes in play with home warranty. In order to be eligible for coverage, your stuff has to be in proper working condition, right? So if it's, and kind of also to your point on what Terry, you said, if it's on your home inspection, the answer is never, don't worry about fixing it, get a home warranty, they'll fix it. No, we won't, because it was already broken, right? Because that's considered a known pre-existing issue. So now, can you be eligible for coverage if you have somebody come in, licensed technician, to fix whatever sticks and show proper proof of repair? Now that you've done this, now your item is eligible for coverage. Does that make sense? So if there are things that are called out on the home inspection, it needs to be addressed. We are not the scapegoat and downfall of things that don't work, and that's why people are like, well, you said the home warranty is going to cover, they didn't. It wasn't working, right? Sorry, Colin, go ahead.
No, just to be clear of what you said. So if it's not in working condition, it makes sense that you guys aren't going to cover it. But if you have like documentation showing that it's fixed moving forward, then it will be covered.
Yes. Yep.
Okay,
So
cool.
that's where it's important to, like, you have to get a proper proof of repair. So it can't be your uncle's neighbor's, Uncle Tom's buddy who comes in and fixes it and tinkers, or your dad, or like, it has to be like a licensed technician too, right? So like, just kind of keep that in mind. Not that you can't have it done. And let me go back to home inspections. So home inspections are super, super important in my world. Go ahead, Terry.
Sorry, just to clarify really quick, I wasn't saying if it's broken in the inspection, get a home warranty.
Oh, no,
I was
no,
just saying
okay.
if they're pointing out things like, you know, over time, this could happen here,
Yes.
or whatever. That so
No,
just
no,
that's all.
I'm sorry. I used you as an example, but that does really happen so much more often than not. And so I just
I
wanted
would
to
never do that. Okay, thank you.
but yes, and those are things that's an important point. So the home inspection is also very important to my world, and that's the reason. So just keep in mind that we have we have the right to ask for a home inspection within the first season, but really the only reason for first season is for the HVAC system. But normally after 60, 90 days for other things, it's not going to be something that we bring up. So going back to that statement, normal wear and tear failures has to be in proper working condition, routine maintenance and service. So my top plan right now is 550 for 1 year, under 5,000 square feet, single family homes, probably one of the lowest pricing points for the most comprehensive coverage out there. And a medium home right now cost is what, 500? Is it above 500 again? Right around 550 for 1 year. Guys, it's very low risk. And the reality is we do actually cover a lot, but we don't cover everything. And so, but that also goes back in, like, the homeowner also has some skin in the game to utilize the home warranty, right? You can't not change your air filter. You can't not take out the lint out of your dryer. Have you guys seen that? Somebody brought in this, I think it was a home inspector. I was in a class and they brought this like thick lint brick. And I'm like, that's not only a fire hazard, but that's gross. But I don't know who doesn't do that. But anyways, I digress, sorry. Just so homeowner has some due diligence and making sure that they are doing their part and making sure that they're taking care of their homes. And mainly the reason people carry home warranties anyways is for big ticket items, HVAC systems, water heater, and stuff like that, right? So this goes back to when you have a home inspection, I hope they're not waiving it, but know that if they do, they are taking a risk. Sorry, Terry, do you have a question before I keep moving on?
Oh, no, sorry. I've never
Yeah,
raised
no
my
worries.
hand
I
before.
just didn't want to ignore you.
Put it down. I'll put it down.
So what during like a home inspection, I know this is not a necessary component, but I will tell you it is a valuable component is if you get an HVAC inspection as well. Reason being, we live in Arizona. And we are 100+ degrees, 6 months out of the year, easy. And we run our ACs 24/7. It protects the buyer regardless if they use a home warranty or not, right? And increases the longevity of the system if they're taking care of it. But C, if anything does come up, having backup, having your biannual servicing, doing the proper care for these systems that we use that are really expensive to replace at a retail cost, those are things that is going to help maximize coverage. And it's not a necessary to have in order to use the home warranty, but if there are things that do come up and you have a denial or you have something that you're like, they have a diagnosis and your claim gets denied or their claim gets denied and they're like, oh, they didn't clean it, looks like it's been dirty, or we might have had a boob or whatever, but you did clean it within that 2 weeks, and you can be like, we just had it serviced, or we had just this done. Like, those are things that will help me help you help your clients out. So anything I can do help you guys maximize and understand how to utilize the warranty, I'm going to do. So just those are great suggestions. And the reason I say it, I've been able to overturn a few denials based on the agents and the homeowners doing the right thing. Does that make sense? So do you have questions with the kind of the 3 items that I talked about, which is important there?
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions.
Yes, please.
Yep. First, you talk about maintenance checks. Are there designated maintenance check within this Peach plumbing, electrical, appliance, cooling, heating that I could hand to a new owner to say, okay, now that you got this home, keep this in mind?
I
Is
have
there
a,
some?
are you talking about like a seasonal maintenance checklist? Because I
Yeah.
do have.
Yeah,
have
whether
that.
it's seasonal or monthly. I mean, because I'm thinking, let's say on your heating, if it's twice a year, or 3 times a year, they should know that.
Yeah,
Or
I
it was-
actually I have a hard copy here that I was passing out at a meeting today. I need to find the soft copy and I can get that sent over to you. If you want to send me an email too to remind me, I can get
Yeah,
that over
please.
to you guys. Yes, perfect. Thank
And
you.
then in talking about out-of-state investors that come in and they're buying let's say a 2,400 square foot home or some luxury home, there might be some things that they need to know or that I would need to pass on, let's say, because they're out of state and they're not, because one of the things I'm thinking about, for example, is the water petcocks on toilets that sometimes freeze up. And
Maybe
if
you're
that is,
using terminology that I'm not familiar with right now.
well,
But not that I can't find answers for you, but yes.
you know what I'm saying, as far as the call it the water on off switch for a toilet.
Yeah. So my brochure, when I send it to you, will have like the coverage details of what's covered and what's excluded and stuff like that. So if you want to read it, I would love that. Most people complain about
Absolutely.
having little bitty words, but I think it's very important for you guys to understand all contracts because we are in a business of contracts. So I will
Absolutely.
send that over to you so you'll have that to
Great.
be able to forward on.
That would be perfect. I think that would probably take care of most of my questions. And does that also have a breakdown of whether it's small, medium, large, or super size homes as far as your cost per year?
Yes, so
Okay.
just like I was saying, we do have 3 different plans. I like for you guys to pretend the other base ones aren't around and pretend that only one exists, which is the comprehensive top plan, which is our ultimate plan. And the reason being is it's really only like $50 difference between the middle plan and the top plan. And it is one of those pet peeves of mine with something, if there is a denial on a like lower plan that would have been covered had they paid that extra $50, it's just one of those things. I'm like, if you want coverage, just have coverage. It's such little risk. It's not a huge dollar difference. So yeah, it's all going to be here. So to your question about the different types of dwellings, yes. So the 550, as I mentioned, is for under 5,000 square feet, single family home. I will mention this because I was going to mention the pricing structure. So the real estate policy, which started 5 years ago, we have not updated our pricing since we started. So in 5 years, there's been no price increase. So with life, how it is, and everyone else has been increasing their prices, and with the rate of inflation these days, we have to kind of bridge the gap. So that is coming. So do not quote my prices now, but know that those are going to be changing probably in the next month or 2. And so we're finalizing some of those details and pricing there. Our service fee is $65 right now, which is the lowest in the industry. It is going to $75. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. Two more questions if I could. What about sprinkler systems?
Let me get to that. So let me get to the different pricing for the different dwelling sizes, and then I'll talk about the add-ons because I know Mara wanted to talk about the roof and the pool and coverage and stuff like that. So just
and then lastly, lastly is do you have a list of top issues that typically when they do go bad and you get involved? I'm just curious about those kinds of things.
I don't have a list of that. I mean, I'm sure, I can even Google something like that because it was funny. I did ask first because I wanted to have something kind of broken down. So we'll figure out something there for you, but let me, I don't have a list created, but I know we can maybe talk through some of the stuff that happens in my world after this, because I geek out on this because this is all I do. So that was another thing to say, like Choice does not kill bugs. We don't sell title. We don't do any other line of business but home warranty. So we don't have any other way to pay our claims. We pay it ourselves. So that's kind of a cool thing. So speaking of the size of coverage and pricing, so the ultimate plan under 5,000 square feet, single family home is going to be $550. If you sell homes that are over 5,000 square feet, it's going to be additional $400. So it would, at our current price, we can get $950. We do have coverage for condos, townhouse, and manufactured homes that will drop that ultimate pricing down to $520. So it's $30 less. We do have a vet discount, vet, military vet, first responder discount of $35 less for a 1-year plan. We have multi-year pricing. That's something that I wanted to make sure that you guys knew about. We have multi-year discounts, and it's something that other home warranties don't offer. And I want to tell you, the discounted rates that we offer for this is super significant. So we do 2, 3, and 5-year options. And so this is nice to know, because this is stuff that you can utilize into your sales. You can either buy them a year, buy them 2 years. You can have seller buy 1 year, buyer buy 1 year. You can add additional 2 years, so whatever you want. So different ways to use it, but we do offer 2, 3, and 5-year plans. You always get a free month with us. So it's always a 13-month year. So it's discounted the more years that you purchase. We also have a $100 off promotion that our owners have let us keep, which has been amazing. So just to kind of keep in mind, the 1 year for a single family home ultimate is $550. A 2-year breaks down to being $850. So just for $300 more, you get another year in a month. 3 years, $1,250, and a 5-year plan is $2,000. So if you think about it, the 5-year plan breaks down to being like $369 for 5 years and 5 months of coverage of the $550 plan. So I'm talking like, this is where I'm trying to get people to be rational about, like, we're so low risk. There's so much coverage to be had. There's just some things that you have to abide by, but like, I mean, I eat and drink coffee and eat lots of food. I spend $500 eating out and drinking coffee in a week, not even a month, a week, easy. So like, it's low risk. I have my own home warranty, but I only, again, let's go back to realistic. Home warranty isn't for everybody. Home warranty is there to be utilized to offset costs, but to use it, it's a process, right? If it wasn't a process, then you wouldn't have a home warranty, right? You would have to schedule with somebody. You don't have to wait for somebody else to make a decision. You just pay, and you just pay a retail cost, right? So it's not emergency service, and you have to follow a process. So that's what I'm saying. You may have clients that it is just not for them. Either they have a lot of money and they don't care about spending it, right? Or B, they're just not happy about anything. And if they just can't follow processes because they want it their own way, which is totally fine. I think as an agent, it's your fiduciary duty. I hate that word because I can't say it. It's your fiduciary duty to make sure that they have the option. But if they don't want it, that's fine. That's on them, right? But you just understand. I mean, again, it's me going back to, I'm not selling it to cram it down your throat and you have to. I want to earn the business. I want you to find value in it. And I want you to like understand it, because otherwise I can't beg you guys to stay, because I want you to want to stay, because, you know, I'm a partner and a value for you. So, so we've got all this pricing, and we also have new construction, new build coverage. So do you guys sell new builds now? Because it's maybe some of the only homes that are available, but a lot of people don't think about new build, new construction, home warranty. So what happens there is you get, my dog's trying to come over and he's gonna knock stuff down. Please sit. So you get basically year 2 and year 3 for the price of 1, but you have to purchase the new build, new construction warranty at close of escrow. So basically the reason why it starts on day 366 is because the builder's warranty is usually a 1-year coverage, right? And we start on day 366, covers you for year 2 and year 3 for $550, right? If they don't buy it at close of escrow and 8 months in, they still want a home warranty, absolutely they can buy a choice home warranty. They just don't get the 2 years for the price of 1. Make sense? And then going to add-ons. So you had mentioned like what other things do we cover? So our new coverage is going to have some expanded coverage coming on. Right now we have a little bit more of a limited set of coverage. Let's talk limited. Okay, so most people purchase, when they do add-ons, it's usually for pool coverage. In-ground pool is going to be $160 currently. That is going up because we're so low, and that's $160 for saltwater or chlorine. So if you guys actually know pricing about home warranties, we are really low. So that is going up to, I think it might go up to like $220, but do not quote me on these new pricing. But that's actually pretty standard right now. So we're just kind of meeting the market. We do offer limited roof leak repair. I'll be honest, again, I'm not rainbows and butterflies. I hate all home warranty roof leak repair. Not because it doesn't work, but it's limited roof leak repair. It's spot treatments. There are going to be limitations on roof types, and it's a low cap. And most importantly, why it just frustrates me the most is roof is an issue for Arizona again, Arizona because of the heat, right? When people think about limited roof leak repair, they don't think limited roof leak repair. They think, oh, I have roof coverage. You don't. And so no home warranty is going to cover a roof. There's really just no home warranty company that will cover roof the way people want roof coverage. So if they don't understand that, it makes my life hard and makes your life hard. So that is kind of why it's not my favorite thing to sell. But if you're telling them and you're showing them the exclusions and they're still saying, yes, I want it, please sell it. Absolutely. But most importantly, again, it's all about setting the right expectations and making sure they know what's happening and what they have. And so that's my true honest spiel there. So hope that helps. We do offer rekey service too. If you know what that is basically rekey service is when they can change up to 4 locks and keys, but they can't book the appointment until they've closed on the house and they own the policy. And it's just basically paying a service fee to have somebody come out to do that. If they want more stuff done with the locksmith out, they could just pay out of pocket in addition to that. So people like it. I think it's helpful. We are adding, I really hate speaking on what because we're still kind of in between, but we're going to be adding some expanded options in our add-ons and then the expanded coverage for the ultimate plan. I did want to mention though, if you do have it above 5,000 square feet single family home, or even anytime, if you aren't sure of pricing, please reach out to confirm pricing. And what I was pointing out on the over 5,000 square feet home, sometimes they have extra refrigerators, they have extra stuff. So I want to make sure we're quoting it correctly so they have the right coverage when they do come into play. So just kind of make sure to reach out if you're confused or not, or if you're unsure, if they have more things to show me, I can quote that out for you. We do cover for multi-unit homes. Do you guys sell those too? So we cover up to 4plex, so duplex, triplex, and 4plex. We do have guest house coverage and all that stuff. What else? You asked me a question. I kind of forgot what I was trying to. Is there anything else that you want me to jog your or jog my memory for?
Sprinkler systems?
I actually think that is coming up on our new coverage, but we don't currently have that. And I do want to make sure we don't cover for maintenance. Did I say that earlier? We don't cover for maintenance and routine maintenance. Those are things that they have to homeowners do on their own. But it's also, you gotta think home warranties cover mechanical failure. So let me just kind of give you some like ugly scenarios in my life or just stuff that has happened so you guys are aware. So mechanical failures. So we don't have an age limitation on our number of AC units that they have or however old it is. As long as it's in proper working condition, as long as they've been maintaining it, as long as they've taken care of it, they're definitely a better chance for them to have coverage. Now, are they going to get covered for everything? Possibly, possibly not. Especially with the HC system, we may cover like a failure. And if that failure requires a replacement and other things need to be replaced in order for the full system to work, the homeowner may still have out-of-pocket expenses. So if we're replacing the compressor and the condenser, but the evap coil there's nothing wrong with it, but because we had to bring in a new up-to-code system and that has to be replaced, then that's going to be something that's out of pocket for the homeowner. The nice thing to kind of consider and think, even though they do have to follow a process and go through the time frame of what start to finish, the nice thing is when they are out of pocket, they are going to be out of pocket contracted rates for parts and labors, because that's how home warranties work. it's going to be less than retail rates. I think right now replacing a whole system is 5 would be lucky. So 5, 6, 7 to 10 plus, right? And if they have multiple systems, then it can be very costly. So just kind of keep that in mind. So again, no age limitation, no number of system limitations. So this has happened a few times in our world, not just I have home warranty friends and other companies and we kind of gather and commiserate together. So if you have a very old system and say it's 115 outside, 118 in the middle of June. Actually, I was about to say middle of April because that's coming up. It could happen, but middle of June. And you're like, hey, I really want my house to be cooled off at 72. But your AC system is only working at 82. So you call and file a claim. Our technician comes out and diagnoses it and says, hey, there's not a mechanical failure. There's nothing wrong with the air conditioning. It's just old. And so it's working at its capacity. So there's not a mechanical failure. There's nothing to fix. It's just not working to it's working at its capacity. It's not working to their desire, but there's nothing wrong. No home warranty coverage will be given by any home warranty company because there's not a mechanical failure. Does that make sense to you guys? Not like the best case scenario in life, but there's not a mechanical failure. So you got to know that that exists in life. We mentioned earlier, if something's failed at your home, namely your air conditioning system. This was a claim that I had a couple years ago. The agent's like, there was something that got brought up on, they had low Freon. So if we all know if an air conditioning system is low on Freon, Freon doesn't evaporate. Freon, if there's low Freon, there's some that's going to be attrition, but there's always some sort of leak. It could be a minor leak or it could be a major leak, right? So they had low Freon, so therefore it signified there's a leak. But she brought in a technician, an HVAC technician before closing. What that technician did was just fill Freon into the system. They didn't attempt to make any fixes. They didn't attempt to make a valve fix, nothing. So even if it wasn't the right fix, there was no attempt. So it was just a Freon fill. So when they filed a claim week into closing, we did ask for a home inspection. The home inspection said it was low on Freon. And she was like, oh, I had it taken care of. Well, the invoice just showed Freon filling, meaning there was no proper repair attempted or made, right? So it was a denial. So that's a problem. So that's an example of, she was mad, but she's like, but I brought an HVAC tech in, great, but they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything to repair. So it's just kind of just reaffirming that things like that need to be done. And again, that's another reason why I say bring in an HVAC HVAC inspection, because home inspectors are great, but they don't open up the unit. So they won't actually get to see what's inside, what it looks like, if there's damage or, and we live in Arizona, and you might be shocked to know that sometimes sellers in real time world would fill Freon just to see how long it would last during the listing period and sell it and they can walk away, right? Because they'll never know. So I'm just kind of putting this information out there because it happens in my world. And if you have not experienced it, you're lucky. So those are the reasons I kind of give you that shared information. So hopefully that will help you walk away with just some knowledge and just being aware of how to protect your clients. Trying to think, did I talk about everything that Mara and Terry asked me to? Oh, it's verbiage. Sorry. Okay. So best case scenario, when somebody asks you, hey, this is a good question. And these are lots of words, but these are good words for you to use. Hey, does that home warranty cover, if my AC breaks, that home warranty gonna replace it? Or are they going to cover my AC? That's a good generic question. Your answer should always be something like this. So the policy that you're getting is the most comprehensive policy. So yes, your air conditioning is a coverable item, but your coverage depends on the policy you have, the diagnosis of the failure, and how well it's being taken care of. So there are going to be limitations and exclusions on all home warranties, but I really can't answer it because everything's going to be a case-by-case scenario. It's a lot of words. You did tell them it's coverable because it's true. It is absolutely a coverable item, but you can't tell them if it's going to be covered. I can't tell them if it's going to be covered because I don't know, and you don't know, because it doesn't matter. You can have 10 different water heater claims and they could be 10 different issues. You can have 10 different AC claims and they're going to be 10 different issues. So it's just making sure you're using those right words. It depends. Yes, it's a coverable item because it is a coverable item. It's on one of those items that are listed, and you're just saying, hey, there are limitations and exclusions on all home warranties. Fact. But can it be covered? Absolutely. Do you know if it's going to be covered? No, I don't know. Right? It's going to be dependent on, your coverage is going to be dependent on, and making sure that you're eligible for coverage. This is what you need to make sure things are fixed in proper working condition, and making sure that maximize the home warranty, that you're doing the right things as a homeowner. Here's some examples of what you should be doing to take care of your home. Ta-da! Right? And so it's just making sure you're speaking correctly on it. Terry, does that help you? I know that you had
Helps
mentioned.
me for sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, I think at the end of the day, it's just selling home warranty is valuable because A, it's on the contracts, but not only that, maybe Lisa, you can speak on this, but like one of the pieces, you guys know about E&O insurance, one of the pieces that mitigate the risk of E&O insurance claims is home warranty. Home inspection and home warranty. If you don't have those, or if they're not properly waiving them or declining them, it puts you at risk as an agent and your brokerage. So again, like I said, you should always offer it. I hope they purchase it. I think there's a benefit in this, but if they don't, it's fine. But protect yourself as real estate professionals, knowing that that is a part of what you need to do for yourself and your brokerage. So, but knowing that you have me as your advocate and your partner to help you as a resource. I have a claims manager. She's amazing, but I want to make sure that I'm creating rational, knowledgeable information and making sure that you're comfortable speaking about it, because I do know that I don't really want to talk about it. I don't really want to recommend one. I'll just have them go research it and they can figure it out. You don't go to a doctor and say, hey doc, I have a broken elbow. What do I do? They're like, oh, I don't know. What do you want to do? You're the doctor. Oh, I don't want a lawsuit, whatever you want. Don't do that. You at least give them some information and you let them make that decision. So if I can help you with more words, or hey, in this scenario, this happened, what do you think I need to say? Or hey, I have a question. They asked this, what do I need to say? Awesome. The nice thing about our brochure is we do have a little bit of a common home warranty questions Q&A section. And like you mentioned, John, I have a different sheet too, but it's very similar. I think it's almost identical, except I have different pictures on but there's also like I don't know if you can say it, home maintenance tips for winter, spring, summer, and fall. So different little things. I'll send that. You guys will all have it. So if you don't mind sending me a quick email so I can get it to you, or if you guys want to send me your agent list, I can send it to you, all of them, whatever. So just if you could take some
Can I
time.
ask a question?
Yes, please.
I just ran into this in my new house. I've been here for 6 years. My washing machine, it's a front loader. The door got locked in the middle of a load.
Oh,
I could not open the door. I called my home warranty people, which I have. They said we'll be out in 3 months.
that's
Because we have to wait till we find a contractor to come out, and they will they're the ones that are going to get the $75 and they will diagnose it. And once they diagnose it, we'll see whether we're going to fix it or not. But we can't guarantee you anything before 3 months.
That sounds so
Not a very good idea, and I'm not a very happy person on this one.
sure,
Okay.
of course not.
Second item. Brand new refrigerator, but the ice maker went out. I had coverage that covered the refrigerator. Oh, no, I didn't. There's an addendum that they cover the refrigerator compressor, but the ice maker is a separate item that's in very fine print on the back of a brochure that's never explained to anybody.
That sounds weird
So
too.
in other words, and then the third one is trying to get somebody to even answer the phone. Who do you call? There's a number. Nobody answers the phone. So who am I calling? Turns out I was calling somebody in the Philippines who was just
Well, I live
taking a
here in
call. It was just a call
Arizona.
center, and they had no idea what to do with the whole thing.
Yeah,
So here I am with a washer that can't get open for 3 months. I've got an ice maker that isn't covered, though I even paid what I thought was getting the full coverage. I had it. Where is that? You know, you're showing me a brochure, but it's like a contract for a government item that's in 1.5 pica on the back page of the edge of a contract. How do you address it? And also the other thing is, you find out the home warranty isn't immediate either. If your air conditioning go out, it's not going to be fixed tonight. You're going to have to wait for somebody to get the sucker fixed. So now, can I call somebody, get it fixed, and then bill my home warranty for it? You know, that kind of a deal. So those are kind of questions that I would also give to my clients.
yeah, of course. The great questions. And those are, I mean, these are real life questions. So these are great questions. So as I started, home warranty is not emergency service. It's just not the functionality of it. Now, will you always know? No, we have same day, next day service and appointments. So how our claims work is when you file a claim, it gets dispatched into a queue of our silo of trade. So appliances or HVAC, plumbing, like whatever it is, right? We'll go through that, and whoever picks it up, it's almost like an Uber-esque system, will pick it up and they will schedule it based on their availability. Now your 3 month for a thing for an appointment, that's a little excessive. So I don't really know where that comes from. But could it happen if it just got lost? Maybe. But again, you were asking who your point of contact is. I didn't write the home warranty. I don't do claims, but if you have questions, if there's a need, then I'm the one that you would reach out to. If most of our communication comes via email, so you want to make sure they always have correct emails and you're like, but if there's an escalation or question, then you could reach out to me and be like, hey, I have a question about this. I would review the claim and then maybe if I needed to submit it to my claims manager to look at. If it's something I could tell you that, hey, this is why, this is what's covered, what's not, like, then I can just tell you directly. But that's why you have a good partner, somebody that you can reach out to and ask these questions. Now, can I do everything that you want me to? I can't. Am I going to go to bat for you and advocate for you for whatever I can? Absolutely, right? But there you have to understand there are going to be limitations. That's my whole point. It's I am setting realistic expectations for you. Going into having a home warranty thinking you're going to have emergency service, it's not the case. We don't function that way. Like, let me just give you a $65 service fee. That is what we've contracted to do. Some of our technicians charge us $75, some of them charge us $100. We still only charge the homeowner what we've said. We always pay out the difference. So that's happening now. Now, if you have an emergency service, Saturday night, your AC goes out and you want it done the next day, can you call a company to have them do it the next day? 1,000%, right? You just have to pay them. Their service fee to come out on an emergency after hours weekend, they're going to charge you $100, $200, $300, and then they can probably sell you a retail cost AC system for 10 grand, 7 grand. And you could probably have it within the next couple days, right? It's doable. That was my whole point, was saying at the beginning, like the mindset of how home warranties work and what they are for and how they are beneficial and the value. If you're going into thinking that's how it is and that's how you're training your buyers and your policyholders and your clients, that's where it makes our world in the home warranty space really hard. Does that make sense? And it's not about like, oh, I can tell you it gets done. Things get done really fast. We have probably about 90% of our claims are even done within the first 3 days, trip, fix, and everything. But I'm talking total claims. Now, if we're going to specify things like air conditioning system, what's supply and demand issue, right? It's way hotter in the summer and way more systems are being used. So way more things are getting broken. And with or without a home warranty, you may have to wait for a technician if you're finding them on your own. You may have to wait for parts if you're finding them on your own, but you're still paying the same rates of not same rates. You're still paying retail rates. So just kind of, if you could shift your mindset of how home warranties work and why they're there, the purpose of it is to offset costs. An example I use is like, if today it's like 4 o'clock, this might be cutting it close, but hey, if you wanted your car to New York, could you get it there by tomorrow morning? Yeah, if you had the money, 1000%. But if you only had a few $1,000s, but you really needed to get it to New York, can you still get it there? Sure, it might take a few weeks, right? So you have to understand like where the benefit and what the need of a home warranty is for you. I carry a home warranty. I don't use it for everything. I kind of save it for my big ticket items because I'm kind of impatient, and I know I am. So if I need something plumbing fixed or electrical fix that's pretty simple, I'm just gonna call somebody to pay it and have them come out and do it when I want them to do it because I want to make the decision. I want it now and I'm gonna pay for it because I can afford that. But if my AC goes out, it's not something I'd just be like, I sell home warranties. So my money is not like that. I work hard, but it's just kind of getting that understanding of that. So the 3-month appointment, that's weird to me. I don't know who you have. I'm sorry if there was a scenario, if you're already waiting a couple days, then you should let me know. It could be days, but it could be the same day or the next day, but it could be days. It just really depends on what technician's available. If we have to throw it back in the queue, we can't. Like there are different scenarios based on what's happening. But in terms of, yes, what did you say about the refrigerator? Trying to remember, sorry.
Use the ice maker.
Oh, well, I think ours is covered, but I guess it's just something, making sure that you review your coverage details again, like.
And that's what I was saying is they say, oh, yes, it's covered, but you have to give us another $150 to cover it.
I mean, there are going
Because
to be some
it's
companies.
one of those hidden costs that are one of the bottom lines. We cover with our 550 these items. But if you want the ice maker, you have to add another 150 to it. But it's so hidden, the homeowner wouldn't see it because they're looking at the big picture at the time.
Yeah,
Sorry
well,
for
I mean, I get that. I mean, with anything like my health insurance or whatever else I have, I mean, they're always like my credit card, they have stuff. Like, I think it's there. So the information is there, and like, hopefully that you would understand, like, at least with choice coverage, what's covered. So you have some expertise in that specific arena. And if they're looking for something else, then it's on them to have to read it, right? Like it's on them to read your real estate contract and understand what the documents say and what they need to do. And, so I get that. There's tiny words everywhere. I just got readers too, you guys. My first readers, I broke down. I didn't want to, but I get that. So it's just understanding what you get when you have the add-ons and exclusions. And that's why I pine on making sure, like, if you're gonna get choice, I would prefer you get the most comprehensive. So try to go with the top plan. So it does include all the stuff. And so if you want to ask specific questions or you want to look into, hey, does it cover ice maker, go specifically to that section and make sure that it's covered for you or whatever plan that you're looking for. So that's something. John, you have questions. Look at this. I love questions. So many questions. Does year 2 on a new build require new inspection? No, it doesn't. So it basically rolls into if they purchase it at close of escrow, our coverage starts on day 366 and it goes from there year 2 to year 3. Does more claims result in increased fees? So historically, Choice has not raised their prices at all. I know most other home warranties do year after year, but we do reserve the right to do so to be market competitive. So we never say we won't, but we have not raised prices. But you will have to. Okay, thank you so much for your questions. Hopefully it was helpful. But in terms of if they renew and our pricing has gone up for that year, then they're going to probably pay what the current going rate is. That makes sense. How does a new owner prove they've been maintaining properly? Maintenance records if it's requested. I mean, mainly we're talking AC stuff. I mean, let's be honest, that's what anybody ever cares about. So I'm probably getting mine scheduled here in the next week or so, preseason, and then I'll do it at that like September-ish to, whatever. Make sure they keep their records for sure. I've also had where sellers, listing agents withheld documents to the homeowners, which is so dumb, but just get their documents for anything that's fixed and repaired if they can. I mean, at least for their current home. Is there a max claim amount per year? So like I said, our coverage is up to $5,000 per contract item unless it's otherwise noted in the brochure. So that's for like $5,000 for plumbing, $5,000 for electrical, $5,000 for cooling, $5,000 for heating, that kind of stuff. Clearly, does it always cap out? No. Have I seen us pay beyond cap? I have 3 times, you guys. So it does work. I'm not lying. It's happened. So, and there are recent ones too. So I was kind of like, I thought we had to stop paying after this, but it kept going. So I wasn't going to tell on them. But it does work. I promise. It is gray. There's lots of nuances, but I promise it works. Anyways, I am so sorry. I didn't want to go over too much time, but I was trying to cover everything and answer all the questions. Was that helpful? Do you have more questions for me? Just comment. I got it.
That was very informative, so thank you.
Oh, good. Hopefully you get to walk away feeling comfortable about it. But if you have questions, just reach out to me and I'll send you guys a few things. Are you going to send me a list, updated list of the agents with the contacts, and then I could just do a blanket send of information?
Yeah, I'll send you the updated roster over so you have everybody.
Cool.
And if you could send me a link to the recording, or this is our Zoom, isn't it?
I think it's my Zoom actually.
Oh, okay. If you could
So,
send me then.
Okay, well, thanks.
That'd be
I hope
great.
I passed the test, and I hope that you guys
did.
found some value. And again, it's just changing people's mindset. I know that everyone wants a lot of different things, and it does a lot, but I mean, how we work it and what you're paying and how it works, it's just a process thing. So
Yeah, I was going to tell Tom, but he had to go, that he did not make the sharp choice. That's why he's having problems.
I was like, gosh, I was about to ask him who he had, but I didn't want to be rude and call him out. So I was like,
I wanted to know too. I'm like, who do you have? Because usually I shouldn't say never because it happened to him, but I've never seen extra for an ice maker. Usually it'll say refrigerator with ice maker. Like it says it right there. And it's this extra, whatever it is. So it's weird that it would be like buried somewhere according to him. So that's why I'm curious. I'm like, I'm gonna go look at their brochure online.
You guys need to find out and let me know when you ask him. So well, thank you again. I'll look for the email from you guys, and I'll send you guys out all the stuff. And then I think I'm gonna have to you put it in the chat, John, so I'll write it down because I know you asked for. Got it. Okay, cool.
Great.
Let me
Thank
know if
you.
you guys have anything. Thank you again for your time. Appreciate you coming on and hanging out with me.
Thank you.
All right, we appreciate it.
All right, bye guys.
All right, bye.